Aquarius, August 11th carries a very interesting energy for you. The tarot suggests that something you've been thinking about repeatedly may finally begin to move, but perhaps not in the exact way you expected. You may have been waiting for an answer, waiting for a message, waiting for a career opportunity, waiting for money to become easier, or simply waiting for life to give you a clear indication of which direction to take. The cards suggest that August 11th may provide that indication. It could arrive through something very small, a conversation, a notification, an unexpected invitation, a new idea, or a person saying something that suddenly makes you see your situation differently. Aquarius, you are often several steps ahead in your thinking. You imagine possibilities that other people haven't considered yet. You can see a future that isn't visible to everyone around you. But sometimes this ability can make the present feel frustrating. You know where you want to go, but reality seems slower than your imagination. August 11th asks you to be patient with the process. Something is developing, and you may be closer to a breakthrough than you realize. There is also an unexpected energy around your day. Something may happen that wasn't part of your schedule. Someone could contact you unexpectedly. Plan may change. A new opportunity could appear. Or you may discover information that makes you reconsider a decision. Don't immediately label the change as good or bad. Give it time. The tarot suggests that what initially feels like a disruption may eventually become an advantage. Sometimes life has to interrupt our plans to place us somewhere more useful. Your career is especially interesting on August 11th. The cards suggest that your unconventional way of thinking may attract attention. Someone may appreciate an idea you've been developing. A supervisor could ask for your opinion. A colleague may approach you about a project. Or you could suddenly realize that one of your skills has much more professional value than you previously thought. Don't hide your ideas simply because they're different. Different is often exactly what makes you valuable. If you're searching for a job, the tarot encourages you to look beyond traditional opportunities. Consider online work, remote positions, freelance projects, creative work, technology, communication, education, business, or anything that gives you more independence. You may find that the best opportunity for you doesn't follow the traditional path. And that's okay. You're not required to build a conventional life. You're required to build a life that works for you. For Aquarius who already have a job, there may be a growing desire for freedom. You might be tired of unnecessary rules. You may want more control over your schedule. Or perhaps you feel that your creativity is being limited. August 11th could bring a conversation about responsibilities or future plans. Don't be afraid to express what you need, but choose your words carefully. You don't need to rebel against everything. Sometimes intelligent negotiation creates more freedom than confrontation. There is also a strong possibility that someone professionally important is beginning to notice your potential. Maybe they haven't said anything yet, but they are watching. They may be evaluating your consistency, creativity, and ability to solve problems. Keep doing your work well. You don't need to chase recognition. Let your results speak. Now let's talk about money. Financially, August 11th brings an interesting mixture of opportunity and caution. You may hear about a new way to earn. A side project could become more serious. A client may offer additional work. Payment could arrive. Or someone might introduce you to an idea that could eventually improve your income. But don't rush. Aquarius, your mind loves new possibilities. You can become excited about an idea before you've fully examined the details. This time, slow down. Research. Compare. Ask questions. Look at the numbers. A good opportunity will still be good after you've taken time to understand it. The cards also suggest that you may discover a financial habit that needs changing. Perhaps you have been spending more than you realize on small things. Perhaps you're paying for things you no longer use. Or maybe you're allowing temporary emotions to influence your financial decisions. August 11th is a good day to regain control. You don't need to become extremely restrictive. You simply need to become intentional. Ask yourself, where do I want my money to take me? Maybe the answer is freedom, a home, a business, travel, education, security. Once you know the destination, your financial decisions become easier. There may also be a small but encouraging financial surprise. Could be a refund, payment, a discount, a new customer, or a small opportunity that eventually becomes more significant. Don't dismiss small beginnings. Some of the biggest financial changes start with something that looks almost insignificant. Now let's move into love. If you're single, Aquarius, August 11th may bring a surprising connection. It could happen through friends, work, social media, travel, education, or an ordinary everyday situation. The person may be different from the type you've traditionally been attracted to, and that could be exactly why you're interested. Perhaps they're intellectually stimulating. Perhaps they're independent. Perhaps they have an unusual perspective on life. Or perhaps they simply make you feel like you can breathe. That's important. You don't need a relationship that takes away your freedom. You need someone who understands that love and independence can exist together. Don't rush this connection. Let curiosity become trust. Let conversation become understanding. And let time reveal whether the connection has real potential. If you're already in a relationship, August 11th may bring a conversation about personal space and future plans. One of you may want more independence. The other may want more closeness. Neither person is necessarily wrong. The key is communication. Explain what you need without making the other person feel rejected. Love should create space for two individuals to remain themselves. If your relationship has been tense recently, a calm conversation could help. But don't force a conversation when emotions are too high. Sometimes waiting until both people are calm is the wiser choice. For some Aquarius, the past may also return. You could receive a message from someone you haven't heard from. You may see an old photograph, or something may remind you of a previous relationship. The tarot asks you to look at the past objectively. Don't remember only the beautiful moments. Remember the entire story. Remember why things ended. Remember what you learned. And remember who you have become since then. You don't have to return simply because someone remembers you. Sometimes the past comes back to show you how far you've traveled. Family matters may also become important. Someone close to you may need your advice because they see you as the person who thinks differently. You may help them understand a situation from another perspective. But be careful not to become emotionally responsible for everyone. You can offer wisdom. You don't have to carry the outcome. There is also a strong spiritual message around August 11th. Your intuition may communicate through unusual ideas. You may suddenly think of someone and then receive a message from them. You may discover something at exactly the moment you need it. You may repeatedly notice a number. Or you may have a dream that stays in your mind. These moments can be meaningful to you, but don't force every coincidence into a prediction. Instead, notice how they make you feel. Sometimes the message is simply, pay attention. Aquarius, there is another important theme around this day. You may be ready to release an old version of yourself. Maybe you've spent too much time trying to fit into a role that never felt natural. Maybe you've been trying to please people who don't really understand you. Maybe you've been afraid to admit that you want something different. August 11th encourages authenticity. You don't have to explain why your dreams look different from everyone else's. You don't have to live according to somebody else's definition of success. And you certainly don't have to make yourself smaller so other people feel comfortable. Your difference is part of your strength. As the day continues, An unexpected conversation may reveal something important about another person. Someone could show you their true intentions. You may discover that a person you thought was distant actually cares more than you realized. Or you may finally recognize that someone has been taking your generosity for granted. Don't react impulsively. Simply observe. Once you know the truth, you can make better choices. There is power in knowing without immediately reacting. This is especially important in your career. You may discover that someone has been discussing an opportunity behind the scenes. Maybe your name was mentioned. Maybe someone recommended you. Maybe a new project is being considered. Don't become anxious if you don't hear about it immediately. Sometimes decisions take time. Let the process develop. Financially, the same principle applies. Don't chase every opportunity. Choose the ones that fit your long-term goals. You don't need 10 income streams if you can't manage them properly. One strong source of income can be more valuable than 5 unstable ones. The tarot encourages you to focus on quality. Build something sustainable. And don't let impatience make you abandon a good plan. By the evening, Aquarius, you may experience a moment of clarity. Something you've been questioning for weeks could suddenly make sense. Maybe you realize that you're ready to leave a situation. Maybe you realize you actually want to stay and improve it. Maybe you finally understand what someone has been trying to tell you. Or perhaps you simply recognize that you have been waiting for someone else's approval, and you no longer need it. That realization can be incredibly freeing. You may also feel a stronger desire to protect your peace. Less unnecessary drama. Fewer meaningless conversations. More time for yourself. More focus on your goals. More attention to the people who genuinely support you. That's not isolation. That's selectivity. You are becoming more careful about where you invest your energy. And that is a healthy change. There is one warning around August 11th. Be careful about making a major decision simply because you're bored with your current situation. Not every desire for change means you need to destroy everything and start again. Sometimes you simply need to adjust. Change one thing. Learn something new. Create a new routine. Have an honest conversation. Give yourself a new challenge. You don't always need a dramatic ending to create a new beginning. Aquarius, the tarot also suggests that an idea you've been carrying could be more important than you realize. Maybe you've thought about starting something. Writing. Creating content. Building a business. Learning a skill. Starting an online project. Moving somewhere new. Or changing your career. You've probably told yourself that you'll do it when the timing is right. But perhaps the timing doesn't need to be perfect. Perhaps you simply need to begin. Start small. Test the idea. Learn. Adjust. Grow. The first version doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to exist. Your future could be built from something you decide to begin on an ordinary day. And August 11th may be that day. There is also a message about comparison. Don't look at someone else's life and assume you're behind. You don't know what happens behind their success. You don't know their struggles. And you don't know their sacrifices. Your path is different. Your timing is different. Your definition of success can be different too. Focus on building a life that feels right when nobody else is watching. That's real freedom. As the evening comes, take a moment to think about one question. What would I do if I wasn't afraid of being misunderstood? The answer may reveal something you've been hiding even from yourself. Maybe you would change your career. Maybe you'd leave a relationship. Maybe you'd start a business. Maybe you'd move. Maybe you'd finally tell someone how you feel. You don't necessarily have to act immediately, but acknowledge the truth. Your future begins with honesty. Aquarius, August 11th is not about predicting every event that will happen. It's about recognizing the energy of change around you. An unexpected message. Career possibility. A financial opportunity. a meaningful conversation, a romantic surprise, a moment of intuition. Any one of these could become the beginning of something much larger. Don't overlook the small moments. Life rarely announces its biggest changes in advance. Sometimes a new chapter begins with one sentence, one phone call, one person, one idea, one decision. And you may not understand its importance until much later. So stay open. Stay observant. Protect your finances. Take your career seriously. Give love room to breathe. And trust your intuition when something doesn't feel right. You don't need to have every answer. You need to remain willing to discover them. Aquarius, there is something new forming around you. You may not see it clearly yet, but you can feel it. The old way of living is becoming less satisfying. The old expectations are losing their power. And the future is beginning to look more interesting. Don't be afraid of that. You are not losing yourself. You are becoming more yourself. August 11th may bring a surprise, but the deeper surprise could be the realization that you're finally ready for it. Your career can move in a new direction. Your finances can become more intentional. Your relationships can become more authentic. And your life can become more aligned with the person you truly are. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You don't need to know the entire road. Just take the next step. Because Aquarius, the tarot leaves you with one final message. The future may not be asking you to follow the path everyone else understands. It may be asking you to create your own. And the moment you stop being afraid of being different may be the moment everything begins to change.